Hello, welcome to Dirtbaggery Book Reviews. My name is Bruce, and tonight we're taking a look at the Audible original Lost Planet Homicide by Larry Correia. And before we get into the video, if you could please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Man, I would like that. Just like a whole stinking bunch. It'd be great. Yeah. Now, do you like sci-fi? Do you like noir? Do you like it when they're mashed together, like peanut butter and jelly?
Like for instance, if I say peanut butter and
ladies. Yeah, right?
No, jelly.
Am I right?
Jelly.
Would you like to put jelly on a lady?
If you said yes, then you need to give this audiobook a listen. Come along with me, won't you? And get into the breakdown. All right, let's go. Lost Planet Homicide introduces Detective Chief Inspector Lutero Cade, a seasoned homicide cop on the isolated planet of Croatoan. When a perplexing murder lands on his desk, Cade dives into a case that challenges his skills and resolve. Navigating a city steeped in corruption, he uncovers layers of intrigue that test his determination to deliver justice in a place where it's a rare commodity. The story channels classic noir vibes, gritty determination, moral ambiguity, and a lone figure standing against a broken system infused with a sci-fi edge. It explores the pursuit of truth in a world where lies are currency and the tension between personal integrity and societal rot drives Cade's journey. A colony ship from Earth, meant for a distant utopia, was hurled off course into deep space, stranded 1,000 light years from Holy Terra. Its passengers settled on this unforgiving planet, shielded by acid clouds and cut off from rescue. A century later, their descendants cling to survival, their history shaping a rugged, isolated society with a unique blend of desperation and resilience. The action unfolds in 5 points. A domed city perched atop Croatoan's 5 habitable mountain peaks. It's a claustrophobic, retro-futuristic sprawl. Corporate towers loom over cavernous slums, and the air hums with tension. The planet's hostile surface, a deadly wasteland beyond the domes, looms as a constant threat, amplifying the stakes of life within this gritty urban enclave. Yeah, so that's kind of the gist of what the flavor of this story's like, what the setting's like, and a little bit of what the lore's like. First and foremost, the lore is hands down my favorite part of this story. And these are novellas. There's 2 more after this. And yeah, the lore just keeps expanding with each one. We learn more about what's going on, and it is it's so great. It's like this has like an interdimensional supernatural feeling, a horror vibe, a noir, hard-boiled gritty detective vibe, sci-fi, a little bit of cyberpunk, just people with like cybernetics and body enhancements, and the food's all grown and synthetic, or it's at least like extremely moderated and controlled. Corporations are in charge of everything. Or if it's not a corporation that's running the show in a certain area, then it's the gangs. So it has a really cool mixture of so many fun genre elements that it's a breath of stinking fresh air. Great opening. Starts off with a dead cop in a vat of synthetic pig meat. So, very poetic.
Lambert, what a prick.
Not bad.
Yeah, and then we get it opens up with that, and then we learn a lot about Lutero Cade's background as far as him being like a kind of like the last honest cop in the 5 peaks. We learn that the different peaks are basically almost each one's like a different caste system. Some of them have different specialties. Like one might be where they grow their greens. So Cade, for instance, is from Zenith, and that is like the ghetto. Very dangerous. They have obviously their meat processing plants there. Right out of the gate, we get this vibe. We understand that corruption is kind of it's an accepted part of life. So a lot of times when detectives are called to a dead body, there's a good chance that they're just going to chalk it up as a suicide and wait for their bribe to enter their bank accounts. And for the off chance that it is a crime that they are allowed to investigate, then Cade gets called in because he's kind of the best when it comes to being a detective, especially in Zenith. But anyway, we get the idea that Zenith is like the roughest mountain peak to grow up in. Everybody is in a gang. He was in a gang. He's got gang tats, and he got out and became a detective. But it's still the gangs that run his neighborhoods and stuff. And then the higher up you go, the corporal, even the corporals have influence all the way up and down, and they do call the shots. But there might be some areas where they allow the gangs just to like do whatever it is they want to do. Larry does a great job, like right out of the gate, in a very short amount of time, painting the world, not a ton of the lore, but at least the setting, giving us a pretty clear picture of what's going on, who the Tarot Cade is, what the dynamics of the society are, and a little bit of lore. I mean, we learned that there was basically like the people are here on this super inhospitable planet because there was a mishap with an interstellar mission from a colony ship called New Beginnings. They're supposed to be going to Utopia, ended up going to Croatoa, was they named it. And the only place that's hospitable, as I said, is these 5 mountain peaks. Anything below that, acid. Even drones melt and can't get a real clear picture of the surface before they are disintegrated. These are all novellas, so they're short. That's one of the things I really like about it. Is I haven't listened to a ton of short fiction, so this is kind of the first sample I've had where I've actually got to listen to it. It's like a 2-hour story on Audible. Just like from a logistics standpoint, it's amazing. I can get a whole story knocked out in a day just doing chores and listening, and it's fantastic. But yeah, in conjunction with Cade, he has a like an assistant. He's a constable named what is his name? Katanga, I believe. I always forget because it's kind of a strange name that I'm not familiar with. But yeah, I think it's Katanga, and he's like same. He's from Zenith, and he used to be in a gang, and now he's a constable, and he's also kind of like another honest. He's a new guy. He's green. He's been out of the academy in like 6 months, but he's competent, and he's a good partner for Cade. Kind of like old grizzled vet, new guy trying to pass on his skills. New guy is hungry to learn those skills. Great, cool partnership. I dig it. The rest of the characters, a lot of it's just they're like secondary characters. I would say that the constable is the next biggest POV character. Not POV, he's not a POV character, but he's like this. I'd say he's like the second largest character because he's in all 3 of the novellas, and so far. I do think he's coming out with more. Larry's going to put more of these novellas out, but most of the other characters kind of come and go, and you don't get real familiar with too many other ones. But we do see other parts of Croatoa, and so the other peaks. I don't remember all the names off the top of my head, so I know there's Zenith, and then there's Olympus, which is like the rich place where all the corpo buildings, like there's this one building that's like the tallest part of the world, because on top of their mountain they have this spire, which is called the Spire, and it goes super high up into the sky. And the spires where like all the corporations are headquartered. But yeah, it's like really nice at Olympus. Everyone's like affluent, have nice things. They don't have to really worry about crime and stuff like that. And they kind of look down on the other peaks. So you get like this really strong sense of a caste system and inequalities in this really tiny little space that humanity has to exist on this planet. It's a tight, claustrophobic spot, which really builds a lot of tension between the people and even just in the background in the society. But anyway, yeah, the story kind of kicks off with a bang. Dead body in the vat. Find out it's a cop. The cop is from Olympus. He's from Olympus PD, which that opens up a whole new can of worms. And Cade ends up hanging out in the Spire with some corpos who have Amazonian secretaries, just freaking bombshells. Probably have body mods to make herself look so hot. And he ends up finding out that the dead cop is a bit of a treasure hunter. And this treasure hunter, I wouldn't say this is a spoiler. Basically, Earth relics are a hot commodity. If you come across an Earth relic, you better sell it quick and don't do it again. Don't get caught trying to like smuggle them and go treasure hunting, because the corpos want them, and you will end up on the corporate crosshair real quick if you get caught treasure hunting and try and scoop up Earth relics without sanction from the corpos is basically how it works. And yeah, so when the New Beginnings crashed, a lot of the stuff got lost down in like, crevices, crags, all that stuff. And while Croatoan people there and Zenith and all the different peaks, while they are advanced, they are light years away, no pun intended, from being as advanced as Earth. So anytime they find a lot of what they have already, their discoveries and the things that they've come up with are just them having reverse engineered Earth tech, right? So whenever they find a new piece of Earth tech that they haven't before, the corporations want to get their hands on it. The dead cop is a treasure hunter. You find that out pretty early. That's not really the big reveal of the book, so I wouldn't say that's a spoiler. Cade ends up trying to retrace this treasure hunting cop's footsteps and leads him into some pretty dangerous, secretive, unknown, forbidden knowledge that maybe a few people on Croatoan know, but not a lot. Or at least we don't get that impression. Yeah, it's very high stakes, danger threat level, midnight stuff that that he wanders into, basically just trying to find the truth. Would you would expect that kind of trope from a detective story, but dude, the lore in this just works good, so good with this like detective protagonist. The ending is fantastic. It's, like I said, it's short. It's only 2 hours long, but it's a great like episodic feeling short. It's not a short story. It's a novella, but a short piece of fiction, and it makes me want to go read the next one, listen to the next one, and I did, and it's fantastic. And they just keep building like that, and it's to the point now where I've listened to all 3 of them, and I don't know when the 4th one's coming out. I'm pretty sure there's more coming out, but dude, this universe is so great. Larry is just I'm not trying to simp for Larry Correia, okay, but the guy he's so good. Like, he's legit my favorite writer, and it's such a cool world. Cade's a cool character, the setting's rad, the lore's amazing. If you like sci-fi and if you like noir and hard-boiled detective stories, I highly recommend you go listen to this. It's free if you have an Audible subscription, a paid one. You don't need to use a credit on it. You don't need to pay for it. You just get it. So go listen to it. I would assume because it is an Audible original, you can't listen to it like on like the Apple audiobooks, but I don't know. But anyway, that's all I got for this video. Love that book. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.